Namaskar. This video is very important for our current education system and also for our parents. It was always a common practice amongst our forefathers that when something is bad for our children, they used to never encourage, persuade or even give that thing to the child even for 1 minute, 1 second, 1 hour, 1 day, 1 month, 1 week or 1 year. When something is bad for the child, our forefathers have always refrained that thing from the child. Let's take one example. We know about Chanakya. Chanakya, how he prepared the wish kanyas. What he did right from the childhood, he trained the human body, the human brain to accept the poison drop by drop right from the childhood. And when those ladies became adult, they converted themselves to wish kanya. And this knowledge, our ancient India had it. So, whenever even we remember when we in our childhood, we have always seen our grandfather or grandparents will never allow us to even sit in front of the television, go and watch movies, or we can say they have not allowed us even to drink tea, bitter leaf and etc. So, we understood as a parent now we know how many children in our society, they are so much addicted to the electronic gadgets. We know that every parent is now struggling to remove this electronic gadget from our child's life. Let's see how it started with us. It started with television? No. It started with the blackboards, the boards in our education system. I will go one by one. Every parent today, they complain everywhere that now my child is so much addicted to electronic gadgets. I don't know how to remove this mobile, this video game from my child's hand. And it is a great trauma for every parent. There is a proverb that if a child is bad or if a child is losing the capability to behave like a normal human being, then that child will end up either in jail, grave or hospital. And this knowledge we as parents already have it. So we are so scared to remove this, how to remove these gadgets from our children's life. Children, they are very innocent, they are very innovative right from their birth. But if we will allow something bad to them, then it will behave like drop by drop poison, and this knowledge India had it. We forgot in the evolution of the human brain, and it started from blackboards in the classrooms. I will take one small example. You can pick up any image from Google with a title like Ancient Gurukul System. We will see many things. A guru is teaching to their students. There will be a water body, there will be a huge tree. But have we seen a blackboard? There was a big reason behind it. Let's go one by one. Ancient India had the knowledge, and in one of my previous video already we have discussed that children below age 8 or 10 should not be stressed more on their eyes. If we want to educate them, if we want some knowledge in their brain, let's use other sense organs. In ancient India, they have always focused on indriyas, that is sense organs. But they have divided the sense organs into two categories, Gyanendriyas and Karmendriyas. Gyanendriyas, what English world is telling, the sense organs. Again, Karmendriyas means our hand, legs, anus, genital organs and our oral cavity. So they have used so much of the other sense organs which are completely developed as a medium to educate a child. They have always known that any education starts with memory. So first Shruti, then Smriti. So they have used the ear properly instead of eyes. And there was no blackboards in any of the Gurukul system. I will go one by one. Now suppose in the ancient Gurukul system, they have blackboards like what we have today. Now suppose, as we know, the first hymn or the first mantra in Rig Veda is the Gayatri mantra. So suppose I have written, blackboard means I have to write something in that, because it is a plain board. So when I am writing something, a child has to understand the alphabets, has to understand the word, the sound, and then the child has to remember and again has to either utter it or write it in the paper. So how complex it is, let us understand one by one. So when I am writing something on the blackboard, the child is reading, understanding, remembering it in the brain. Then what I am doing? I am asking that child, now you have to either write it or you have to pronunciate it. So what I took the medium to enter to the brain? I took eyes to enter the data to their brain. And what happened? They were so confused. They are lacking the memory. They started thinking that because I have not seen it, I cannot remember it. Was that what ancient India was? No. Ancient India had that knowledge that if the child is below 10 years of age, let's use the ear properly, which is the fully developed sense organ right from the mother's womb. Please start entering to the child's brain through this ear. Let me take one demonstration. Suppose this is a blackboard and I am a teacher where I am having good number of students, maybe some age 6, 7 years old. So what I am trying to do, suppose I have written one definition here and I am explaining to the students where the student has to remember it, and then when I ask the student has to speak it through the mouth, or I can ask the student to write it. So first, whether I am speaking it from the mouth or I am writing it, I should have it in the brain. So once I have chosen this medium to enter to the student's brain, so I have used student's eyes to read the sentence, because nowadays we do everything with respective to eyes. So what will happen now? Suppose I have finished explaining this definition to the students. Now what I will do? I'll ask all the students that now either I can rub it or I can ask my students, now all of you close your eyes and do let me know what definition I have written it in the blackboard. Some students will be honest enough to close the eyes honestly and will reply to the teacher. But some students will be not that much capacity to remember at that moment of time, because nowadays we want everything to be fast and fast. So what that student will try to do is, the student will try to peep to the blackboard and just try to see what the teacher has written. We have introduced here untruthful to the child. Now if I close this blackboard, whatever definition I want that child to remember, I have to go on reciting it. That is what was happening in our ancient India. So every student, whoever has a very good ear hearing capacity, they all will remember, and without using their eyes, they can pronunciate through their mouth, and they will never ever try to peep neither to blackboard, neither to their friend's notebook, or they will be and the student will be capable enough to be remembering and then pronunciating through the mouth. So what in this process we have learnt, this blackboard system has introduced fear, frustration, irritation, some low level of thinking to ourselves for our children, and also untruthful. If we remove this blackboard, each child will be confident enough on his or her own brain, and they can speak through the mouth. Neither they will peep to anybody's notebook, neither they will see that anybody is what is the capability of a human brain. So the comparison between two friends will not exist. So what we have to think here is, only when we have introduced one blackboard to our education system, we lost one true identity of a human body, that is to be truthful. So what the Guru was telling, there is a very good description in Google. A teacher is the one who wants to instruct a child, but a Guru is the one who wants to construct a child. So a teacher will always sharpen the mind, but a Guru will always try to increase the horizon, dimension, directions of the brain. That was the capability of our Gurus in the Gurukul of our ancient India. So what they did, they have not used any blackboard or any board. It was a complete oral communications, or it was running through word of mouth. So what they have done, the children were listening to their Guru. As a result, there was increasing in the power of hearing, and as a result the data was entering to the brain, and it was very easy for the child to pronunciate through the mouth, and the child was confident enough because right from the birth the child is communicating with the family, with parents, with society, community, everywhere. So till age 8 to 10 years, ancient India have never ever stressed on eyes and writings through your hands. So what are the advantages we have got it, that we have entered to the brain, the child has remembered everything, it has produced a very good frequency in the brain, and the child is confident enough. There is no fear factor which has developed within the child. So the time has come now to remove the blackboards from our modern education system till the child is 8 to 10 years of age. Now the time has come to bring back the oral examination systems to our children. I will tell you all the advantages one by one. The first thing is, the Guru has to remember everything whatever the guru wants the child to remember, to reiterate, or to have the knowledge about that thing. So it is like when I am walking in a shoe, I know what are the different problems I am facing. So when my students will learn that, I will have the capacity of perseverance, patience, understanding my students. So there will be no anger, no fear, no frustration amongst neither guru or the student. So beautiful environment we can create back in our modern education system. Second point, whenever we are whenever we are making our child to learn a new language, we get irritated so much, because we should understand, we in our brain, we have the knowledge about that language from past so many years, but the child is so small, so nascent, naive, they are new to the language, so it will take time for that. We can do one thing, pick up any language in whichever city you live with. India is having so many languages in so many states. Please pick up any 4 language which is very nearby to your states, and you also start learning that language with your child. Our brain is mature brain. We should pick up very fast. Their brain is a very new brain. It will take some time, but we will see the wonders. We are learning very late. They are picking up very fast. So it will generate a very good confidence, very good positivity, optimism. They will be so much optimistic about the education system. So only one thing we accepted, that is Blackboard in modern education system, and we entered into the trap of a very bad thing. What had it ended up? It started with Blackboard, then television, big screen, theaters, online, YouTube, now online tutorials, and now robot teachers. Have we observed one thing? Nowadays, everybody tells to the child, can you please sit quietly? Should we remember back when we developed this habit of telling to children, please sit quietly? If you will go back, you please ask your grandparents if they will see one child sitting quietly for a good period of time, they will say, this child is having some problem. Please go and see a doctor. Because a child is meant to play around with nature. From the time the television has come, the blackboards have come, we have understood that children can sit quietly. Children can never sit quietly if they are being exposed to nature well. So when one thing came to us and we have encouraged that thing within our life, and see, it has ended up into so many problems. When we go and ask the parents of those children, those who are having some psychological problem, mental problem, emotional problem, we know how much pain they are going through. So when something is bad, just let's try to put a full stop to that activity, habit, or maybe any nature or any discipline which we want to put it to our child's life. We are surrounding our true children, our hopes of tomorrow with so many non-living things. We have to think and we have to request, because in India we know we not only put our emotions with our child, we try to bring knowledge, wisdom, and we in India, every house is filled with so much of love, patience, perseverance, and brotherhood. So, we Indians should bring back the ancient days of teaching very soon to our modern education system, and I will be making series of videos from henceforth, and I have started with let's remove blackboards till the child is 8 to 10 years of age in our modern education system, and let's rebuild the relationship between our guru and our child as the best relationship, because there is always a saying, when you have a good knowledge, you will always love to share it because it is a natural element. But if you have a chocolate with you, if you have some materialistic things with you, maybe a money, we will always refrain to share with anybody. So that is the beauty of natural things. So whenever nature has given us an opportunity to build back all our ancient days system again in our India, so let's not step back but move forward, encourage our schools to implement those things, because everywhere in every sphere our Indians are only there, and we can bring back our ancient methodologies of teachings back to our curriculum, and this is the right time to hit the bell. Jai Bharat.